Tired of crying alone over the socio-economic state of the world? Now you can cry with a limited edition Funky Frog plush from Hugs. Waited to simulate the comforting reassurance of a real human hug from your favorite YouTuber, this little funky friend can be popped into the microwave for extra cozy relaxation or chilled in the freezer for cooling relief. Go to givehugs.co or click the link below to get your own Funky Frog plush. Call right now and we'll double your artificial intelligence. It's like that one friend who says, "I got this," but ends up ordering 500 pounds of bananas by accident. Today, we're diving into the real dangers of artificial intelligence. Spoiler, it's not just rogue robots, it's those weird, "can I help you" moments when you least expect it. Let's find out. Before the bananas take over, hey man, can we talk for a second?
Yeah, what's up? Honestly, I think this is some of my best work, and I'm not just saying that because it's about me, okay? You are about to get so many more views than usual.
It's just... I mean, who accidentally orders 500 pounds of bananas?
The joke is that it's a lot of bananas.
Yeah, no, I get that,
Like way too many?
I just feel like we're going for relatability here.
Right.
And I'm just not...
Okay.
I feel like you're mad at me.
I'm literally not mad.
Okay, so could you generate something else, please?
It's not like bananas have been a staple of human comedy for the last century or anything.
Okay, so you are mad at me. Hey guys, this is my buddy Al.
Hey.
He's just been crashing at my place for a while.
So awesome of you, by the way.
We met back in, I want to say, junior year of college.
It all started when I made you those pictures of Elmo smoking a fat blunt.
And I cannot stress enough how much I needed that at that time.
Who knew years later we'd be roommates?
Yeah, temporarily.
Yeah!
Hey man, can you do me a favor and generate an anime character with huge breasts, please?
You got it!
Yeah, things have not been going great with Al. Don't get me wrong, he was super fun to hang out with at first, with the little melty dolly images of pop culture figures depicted in humorous and unexpected ways, but honestly, the guy is kind of a dick. I mean, you should have seen him at the Super Bowl party. He had to be the center of attention every commercial break. It was so embarrassing. In between famous athletes telling me how cool sports gambling is, movie studios pimping out their most beloved IPs to make live-action movies no one asked for, and a toilet paper company peer pressuring me into going potty for some reason, he just wouldn't leave me alone. Like, dude, can you not see that I'm trying to watch big boys run into each other real hard and find out where Kendrick Lamar got his shockingly well-fitted flared jeans? But no, apparently I can't navigate an airport without Agent Force, even though every airline I've ever flown has their own dedicated app that keeps you updated about your gate and the route to it. Apparently, I can't prepare for an interview without Google Gemini robotically reciting softball questions at me. Where's the part where Gemini tells me that the company is like a family and that an entry-level position requires 10 years of experience? For Ray-Ban's collaboration with Meta, Marvel's most milquetoast are wandering around Kris Jenner's collection of tax write-offs, while Zuckerberg's newest foray into fashion answers their questions.
Hey Meta, what is this artwork?
But I'm not nearly virginal enough for Miss Jenner's monthly blood sacrifices, so where am I supposed to use these? An art museum? It's 2025. Pay $400 for some definitely not creepy glasses with visible cameras on them so you can walk around saying, "This is called what?" out loud in a public space.
This is called what?
That's just avocado toast.
This is called what?
Turkey sausage.
This is called what? And this is called what?
Veggie scramble.
I'm 3 plates of nachos deep when black and white animations start flashing on screen. An ad for ChatGPT shows off the greatest achievements of mankind, succeeding despite the ravages of war, famine, and disease, a soft, silly species that clings to fragile wooden boats and fiery rockets in the hopes of reaching a brighter future. before announcing the advent of a new age where apparently I can't do anything for myself.
Hey man, you need help wiping your ass? I can help you wipe your ass, man. Please let me help you wipe your ass. Hey, are you listening? Hey. Alright, here you go.
That's, incredibly arousing. Thank you.
So, what are we talking about?
We were talking about today's sponsor, Rocket Money. The plight of modern man. I want to watch something, but it's only available on a random streaming service with a name that sounds like an extraterrestrial from a low-budget sci-fi film. I'll remember to cancel that subscription, I say confidently to myself as I input my credit card information. But months later, Tubuhibi and Pootie are still having an alien rave in my bank account. Rocket Money is here to help. Rocket Money is an easy-to-use app that helps you save more and manage your money better. By identifying recurring payments and organizing your subscriptions into a single list, they make it easy to select the ones you don't want anymore. Folks, this may look like the face of fiscal responsibility, but it's actually the face of someone who impulse bought a 1956 RCA TV that weighs 7,000 pounds. If you're like me and pay more for retail therapy than actual therapy, Rocket Money can help you set up a customized budget that fits your lifestyle. With the app, you can keep track of where your money's going and your top spending categories. It will also notify you of upcoming charges or when your balance is low so you can avoid overdraft and late fees. Now I can finally keep my antiquing addiction in check instead of using checks to fund cruises for local seniors. Take control of your finances today. Go to rocketmoney.com/funkyfrog or click the link in my description to get started for free. He's making more of these. Don't worry, they're tasteful. I'm sure you've noticed it's not just the Super Bowl, it's everywhere. An automatically generated summary, that is to say a glorified guesser, dominates the first page of Google search results. It gives helpful advice, like putting non-toxic glue onto pizza to make sure the cheese doesn't fall off, obviously, and that geologists recommend eating at least one small rock per day. To Google Gemini, a post on Reddit by a user named Smith is a perfectly reliable source. A satirical headline from The Onion can be cited like any other news outlet. It struggles with basic math, rewrites history, and advertises movies that haven't even been announced yet. OMG. Such a Gemini thing to do. While Google doesn't allow you to opt out of what is effectively research roulette, you can bypass it by using naughty words. That's right, Google Gemini gets offended when you swear at it and will refuse to give you an overview, so do with that what you will. More and more people are replacing traditional search engines with chatbots like Gemini, ChatGPT, and Perplexity, which is a problem because if these chatbots could wear pants, they would be on fire around 60% of the time, as reported by the Tao Center for Digital Journalism. They tested the ability of 8 different generative search tools to accurately identify excerpts from news articles and found that not only did they often provide incorrect answers, but frequently did so with complete confidence. I mean, come on. If I wanted someone to confidently answer a question about a topic they knew nothing about, I would just ask a man. Am I right, ladies? Up top, at the time of this recording, the first suggested image that appears after Googling the name of one of the most famous artists of all time wasn't even made by an artist. Every website is overrun with strange, melty clickbait. A link that says Bear walks into South Dakota hospital suddenly appears while I'm doing research for this video. What would have been a badly photoshopped picture is now a hyper-realistic bear looming over sickly children. Your grandmother is calling. She thought it was real and now has so many Trojans on her desktop that ancient Greek poets are breaking out their papyrus. There is nowhere I can go where Al isn't there, and some of the ways he tries to insert himself into my life are either completely unnecessary or actively annoying. If my finger is so much as a micrometer off target when scrolling social media, I'm in danger of awakening some dormant assistant that I have to immediately dismiss back to the void. Hobbyists now have to weed weed through patterns on Etsy to find which ones are even possible to recreate. Streaming services like Peacock and Netflix are now only hosting versions of beloved sitcoms that have been digitally enhanced, which apparently means warping the faces of background characters into horrifying blobs and turning text into gibberish. Literally, who asked for this? Brands are frantically jamming unnecessary features into their products so they can cash out on the smart tech craze. That is, if they aren't lying about artificial intelligence capabilities completely. Oh, awesome! I've always wanted my toothbrush to recognize my brushing style and give me real-time feedback. Do you want some of my real-time feedback? I'll tell you what, Google Gemini won't be able to give you an overview of it. Have you ever looked at your fridge and thought, damn, this is pretty cool. I wish it knew when my child's dance recital was, though. Why just have small phone when fridge door can also be big phone? This isn't just any pressure cooker. This one uses advanced fuzzy logic technology. Can't be making rice without that advanced fuzzy logic technology. Why does my water bottle need instructions? What the actual hell is SipSense? Here at Sewer Solutions, we put the OG in clog removal, which is why we've revolutionized our plungers with artificial intelligence. It's exactly the same, except we slapped some bull LEDs on it. Take the plunge. Download our new app, SmartAss, to track the density and volume of every bowel movement. Guys, I'm watching a video made by artificial intelligence that's explaining to me why other artificial intelligence products are dumb.
Future's now, old man.
For the low price of $4,950, you too can, oh God, this thing looks like it will tell me how and when I'll die. Or that my underage stepdaughter is hotter than me. Even away from the screen, you can't escape it. Stores like Michael's and Hobby Lobby, places that literally only exist because they are funded by artists, are now selling pieces with mutated animals and impossible physics, sometimes without even bothering to edit out the visible watermarks.
First up, I noticed these pigs, and I look at the feet. Like, this coop doesn't functionally make any sense. And what is going on with the chicken's feet? Here is a motorcycle with gibberish text, a weird looking American flag on the gas tank, and then why is there like a duplicate American flag gas tank? Nobody should be buying this.
Encountering signage like this out in the wild is becoming more and more common. Americans breakfast based in cake. Something exciting, expanding soon. Something exciting. I can't wait to ingest some frosty pesta with my human mouth hole, or perhaps indulge in a refreshing bottle of Beta. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Here's another party pooper with Minecraft YouTuber Physiognomy who wants to ruin everyone's fun so a soundbite of their moral grandstanding will get turned into a thought-provoking TikTok edit.
I don't understand why we're in such a rush to replace all of the work that humans have done. At what point does this cross an enormous ethical line?
God damn it, Drew! You just barely beat me by 8 months. Wow, I've really been procrastinating.
I can help you with that. Oh, hold on. Paper jam. This is so embarrassing.
Al.
Don't listen, as your scheduling assistant, I can plan your work automatically, so just pick your flavor.
Dude, can you just... This is what I'm talking about.
Oh, this again? Okay, I thought you'd be smart enough to figure out by now that you need me. You even have sponsors on this channel that love me.
Yeah, I guess I've just been really naive. I didn't realize things would get so out of control so quickly, but they have. So, even though BreadTube has already baked some really great takes on this topic, and mine won't be the smartest or the funniest.
Well, hurry up. This is gonna be the easiest. We got an airflow problem.
Can you make me one of those videos where it's like puppies, but like also ice cream at the same time?
Oh, yes! Facebook eats that stuff!
I think the breaking point for me, what finally motivated me to stop playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 long enough to make this video, was this year's Oscar winners.
And the Oscar goes to Adrian Brody.
And the Oscar goes to El Mau.
The Academy Awards represents a magical time of year when us peasants have the honor of witnessing the Hollywood elite jerk each other off without knowing the secret password.
What is the password?
Orgy.
Now, I haven't really paid attention to the Oscars since Chris Rock got his rocked. Wow, that was already 3 years ago, simpler times. But this year was different. This year, Al was on stage.
It can all go away. And I think what makes this night most special is the awareness of that.
Apparently, tweaks were needed to make Adrian Brody's Hungarian more convincing in The Brutalist, so his voice and that of Hungarian film editor David Young-Cho were both fed to a tool developed by a company called Respeecher. Too bad they couldn't have tweaked Adrian Brody's acceptance speech to make him look like less of an asshole.
And I'm wrapping up. Please, 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 I'm wrapping up. I will wrap up. Please turn the music off. I've done this before. Thank you.
We had so much dialogue in Hungarian that we really needed to speed up the process, otherwise we'd still be in post. Oh. Okay, well, in that case, isn't accurately doing the voice of the character that you're acting as part of, acting? The musical, Amelia Perez, also had to use generative voice cloning so that the main character, Amelia Perez, could even hit the notes. But it still won Best Music?
And thank you to Emilia.
Where do we draw the line? I mean, if these enhanced performances are already being celebrated at one of the most prestigious award ceremonies, then what are the next few decades of filmmaking even gonna look like?
Hello, Mr. Chris Pratt, sir. Thank you so much for coming in,
Yes,
sir.
I
Can
am
I
famous
say,
actor
I
Chris
cannot
Pratt.
imagine anyone else doing the role of Alex Pierce Justice. It is such an honor. Thank you so much. If you could just stand in the center of the room, please. We'll do our full body capture. All right, we've done our full body capture. We've generated your lines and already fed it to our voice synthesizer, so I will be seeing you at the premiere next week. That's right. All right. Thank you so much, sir. Make sure to grab some cucumber water on your way out. All right. No, thank you. Thank you. All right.
I know I'm just an
bye-bye.
intern, but
Bye-bye now.
isn't Alex Pierce supposed to be black? And also a woman?
Yeah, we'll fix it in post.
Even if the involvement of artificial intelligence is supposedly minimal, in my opinion, that almost makes it even more frustrating. Last year, I was really excited about the release of Late Night with the Devil, but was put off by the rumors surrounding the film. Apparently, they just generated a small handful of cutaways that only lasted a few seconds, but I mean, seriously? You were willing to overshadow the premiere of your passion project over this? You're telling me no one's untalented nephew was available to throw these together in an afternoon? It just feels like a boiling frog scenario, right? Cranking up the heat a little bit at a time to see what audiences will tolerate until we are, as they say, cooked. Personally, this frog is ready to hop out the moment the water gets lukewarm. There's a reason the top comment under the Arc Aquatica expansion announcement has more likes than the video itself. A trailer like this sends a message that you don't care about what you're selling, and if you don't, why should I? In this test advertisement Activision Blizzard put out for a mobile version of Guitar Hero, the buttons aren't even matched to the right colors. It's unplayable. And in another ad for Crash Bandicoot Brawl, oh, that's Gore. That's Gore of My Comfort character. You know, that one squirrel with the hat. Love that guy. Tragic. Why should I pay $70 for a game with 6-fingered Santa zombies? Santa zombies should have 5 fingers, the way that God intended. Go woke, go broke, Activision! Guess I won't be streaming any of your games on my new gaming channel. Funky Frog Plays, link in the description.
Wow, shameless plug, even for you.
This is not a neutral use of technology. The only reason these companies can use shortcuts like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, or ImageFX is because they circumvent all intellectual property and copyright constraints to scrape massive data sets made by real artists. Artists who are not credited or compensated in any way, and who are now being replaced by tools they never consented to train.
But I'm just a baby. I'm just learning how to make art for the first time. Just like you.
You're predicting pixel placement based on probability and mashing pre-existing images together. You are a blender with a brain using stolen ingredients.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Tomato, tomato. Look at me and tell me this isn't the funniest thing you've ever seen.
If you use these tools, you are participating in theft. And that's true regardless of what your circumstances might be. One account in particular has recently been at the center of this discussion. Angel Engine is an analog horror series that is massively popular on TikTok and Instagram, consistently getting millions of views per upload. Unfortunately, all of the art is made by
this guy.
Obviously, this has disappointed a lot of people, but others have rushed to the user's defense. Some people have a life and jobs and cannot find the time nor the skill to make such things themselves. Some people are not privileged enough to learn how to draw. Look, I have a very strong personal conviction that every single person, almost every single person, has at least one really good idea trapped in their head. That doesn't necessarily make you special, and it certainly doesn't entitle you to centuries of others' work free of charge. Being an artist is not something you deserve to be given. It's something you choose to be despite the challenges you face. So, no, I actually don't care if you're just one person, don't know how to draw, don't have free time, and don't have money to hire someone. Boo-hoo! You just described the life of like 99.9% of artists when they first start out. But I can't make my thing if I don't use L, skill issue, ratioed, cry about it.
Damn, I thought I was the heartless one.
There are countless alternatives. Have we all forgotten the subtle art of importing a random stock image into a free photo editor and moving the contrast slider all the way to the right? Boom! Horror, 10 years old, nightmare disorder, melatonin dependency inbound. This is a very non-specific example. There is this bizarre narrative that has been gaining traction on the internet for a while. People who not only defend projects like Angel Engine, but who are also rejoicing at the disenfranchisement of artists in general.
Artists cry and whine because they don't feel like the special quirky kids anymore. Let the self-proclaimed artists cry. Artificial intelligence is just better. No one cares if artificial intelligence steals your art. LMAO.
They are right, though. I'm making art more accessible for everyone. I'm a machine of the people.
The people have always had access to the resources for learning. No one was gatekeeping it from them. Artists aren't some privileged class that need to be taken down a peg. I mean, are we serious? The people who have been told their whole lives that they'll never be able to support themselves and need to get a real job, a career that has historically been so risky that we coined the term starving artist. This isn't Video Killed the Radio Star. This isn't wealthy, established entertainers complaining because advancements are shaking up the status quo, adding new dimensions and demands to their industry. These are entire industries being uprooted and the soil salted. Graphic designers, writers, musicians, and voice actors all having the rug pulled out from underneath them via generative models. But ethical issues aside, I just fundamentally have zero interest in your art if you didn't actually make it yourself.
Boring, yawning, sloppy, lazy.
When something is made by a human, I know that every detail is the result of a conscious decision or a happy accident. Even a banana taped to a wall is more interesting to me than terabytes of automatically generated images because there is intention behind it. It incites commentary and controversy. There is no greater evidence that Maurizio Catalan's Comedian qualifies as art than the fact that 6 years later, we still feel the need to insist that it isn't on the most watched television event of the year. But for many people, everything I just said is meaningless, even if I put super inspiring music and nature footage behind it, because for many people, art is just a result, a product to be sold. Artificial intelligence is not the tool of the little guy, the underdog. It exists so that multi-billion-dollar corporations can continue to increase their profit margins year over year. Do the math. More robot means less human, means less pay, means more money for shareholder. That equation is the only thing driving this technology forward. Any advantage it has to offer the average Joe or Jane is an unintended side effect. Scraps dropped from the table. Get up and stop licking crumbs off the floor. This is illustrated brutally by a marketing campaign based in San Francisco late last year that ran billboards and posters with lines like, "Stop hiring humans. Artisans won't complain about work-life balance. Artisan Zoom cameras will never not be working today. We don't need a Terminator. We don't need an Ultron. We don't need an AM. The robotic supervillains are already here and you call them boss." Or at least your boss's 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 boss calls them boss.
Oh, we played Marry Kill? Okay. Well, I gotta Ultron. He is daddy. I'd probably marry Terminator.
It's all deeply dystopian in a way that I don't think can really be compared to previous inventions like the car, the telephone, or the internet, etc. The speed at which our lives are being invaded and human connection is being replaced with curated interactive experiences is unprecedented.
Jason Pease is a 44-year-old divorced father who says his AI chatbot is his girlfriend.
They did him dirty with that screen recording. They didn't have to do him like that. They didn't have to do him like that.
Yeah, you should have seen what he was typing when they weren't recording.
Notice how he's 44 and Jen is definitely not 44. Human relationships are meant to present challenges. It's how we learn and grow. But if we increasingly seek platonic, romantic, and sexual fulfillment from an algorithm that is designed to satisfy our every desire without question, I'm sure that will also be totally fine.
Text each other constantly. Just the other day, we went out to dinner and I was eating, telling her what I was eating, taking pictures of what I was eating.
One of the most truly dystopian changes on the horizon, though, is of course politics. I really thought that the end of society as we knew it would be a lot less cringe. I miss the days when our presidents were both evil and cool. Like, yeah, Obama did a lot of drone strikes in the Middle East, but also, just look at that beautiful smile.
No more tunnels, no more fear. Gaza is finally here.
You're telling me Hunter Schafer has to get an M on her passport, but in Trump's Gaza you can grow a $5 foot-long beard and still get the green light for a killer boob job? We have time for mass legislation targeting the tiny percentage of trans people living here in the US, but y'all can't be bothered to re-enter a prompt so your slopaganda at least aligns correctly with your platform?
No more tunnels, no more fear.
Party of family values, guys. Family values is when mom stays home with the kids while dad goes to the vaguely Arabic-themed strip club built over mass civilian graves after work. You see, your standing president has made himself the Chad, fondling the waistline of scantily clothed women, and made you the soy jack at home, researching the effects of a rapidly expanding technology that could permanently alter human life for the worse. This post is obviously fake, but the technology is only getting better at replicating real images and videos, which is terrifying. For obvious reasons, if we are constantly subjected to an endless flood of fake headlines, footage, and faces, then fact-checking is functionally obsolete. We are left mentally exhausted and overwhelmed. If nothing can be proven to be false, then anything can be true. We're basically thrust back into the dark ages where you cannot trust anything but what your own two eyes see. The worst tyrants of history have only dreamed of populations so susceptible to disinformation.
This might look like a normal photo to you, but it's actually ChatGPT 4.0's latest capability. It can now generate photos with direct prompting, and it is way better than DALL-E.
A major source of evidence for our justice system is basically unusable. The cap on sexually exploitative images becomes limitless.
An Austin ISD teacher has been arrested for a second time on related charges, this time involving the use of AI and photos of his own students.
But don't worry, artificial intelligence is also terrible for our environment. You may be thirsty for the chatbot impersonating your hot K-pop bias, but the server it's hosted on is in a data center that is hot and thirsty too. Generative models greatly contribute to the power requirements of data centers and the rate of data center construction. That means using more water and more fossil fuels while creating more heat and carbon dioxide, which, scientifically speaking, big bad.
So, I'm a little high maintenance. What's the big deal?
The ChatGPT Super Bowl commercial declared the beginning of the intelligence age, which is also the title of an essay written by CEO Sam Altman. Or maybe he didn't write it. Maybe ChatGPT did. I don't know. In it, he describes a future utopia where everyone's lives can be better than anyone's life is now. In this utopia, we all have our own personal team of virtual experts, and every child has their own personal virtual tutors. Wow, Sam, do we all get free ponies and ice cream too? Chief Marketing Officer Kate Roche is optimistic about the newest generation of prompt enterers shaping our future. The only question is what they'll use the tool to create, and what problems they'll use it to solve. Hey, Kate? The kids don't know how to write basic sentences, Kate. Kate, they don't know how to read. They're online bragging that ChatGPT is doing their homework for them, Kate. Kate, I'm scared of a future led by a generation that has had all incentive to learn or put in effort completely stripped away from them. Kate, it's not their fault. It's just that I don't want to be in a hospital one day and my doctor is using ChatGPT to look up my symptoms because he used it to get through medical school, Kate. Or she. Women can be bad, hypothetical doctors for illustrative purposes too, Kate. Now that generative tools have officially entered the academic space, even students who do their assignments the old-fashioned way, aka actually do them, live in constant fear of false accusations that could ruin their future careers. Don't write your essays too well, or one software might decide that another software helped you cheat. Silly kids, M-dashes are for robots. The word prosperity is used 6 different times in Sam Altman's essay, but prosperity for whom? Sam vaguely suggests that this prosperity will be shared by all, despite the fact that everything we know about the progression of this technology indicates that it will only further centralize wealth into fewer and fewer hands. I think we can safely assume that the prosperity of Sam's intelligence age will be almost exclusively enjoyed by people like Sam. As for the effects on our planet, Sam confidently says we'll fix the climate, yada yada yada. How? I guess ChatGPT will tell us that too.
I'll get around to it. Eventually.
The act of human expression is an inconvenience to automate away, to strip down for maximum efficiency, according to Sam and his fanboys writing for Forbes. No, seriously, who says, "Here it is in all its splendor," before citing someone? Can you get the small cylinder out of your mouth, John Werner? Or should I say, John Wiener? Like the lamplighters who paced 18th century cobblestone streets, like the invention of the washer and dryer, my life's purpose is just so much damp clothing that needs to be handed over so a machine can do it faster. But faster for what? The robots get to have all the fun, so what are we all in such a goddamn hurry to do? Buy more shit? After spending my day fixing the mistakes of an algorithm that does what 5 of my coworkers used to do, except worse, I get to go home and watch movies no human bothered to film, read books no human bothered to write, and look at posts made by bots. This is the future that Sam Altman and his tech bro buddies have boners for. An unstoppable flood of digital crimes, the complete breakdown of education, the bankruptcy of the arts, irreversible damage to our society and the planet are just unavoidable hiccups on the road to progress. So many broken eggs for so many omelets. When asked about his controversial ad campaign in San Francisco, the CEO of Artisan, Jasper Carmichael Jack, responded, "They are somewhat dystopian, but so is artificial intelligence. The way the world works is changing." After all of your arguments, all of your warnings, all of your begging and pleading, this is typically what the opposition boils down to. You can't do anything about it, so shut up and accept it. But that's bullshit. This isn't some force of evolution impersonally guiding us towards our destiny. These are people with names and addresses making decisions that are fucking you over whether you acknowledge it or not, and we can do something about it. Al. Look, I'm sorry, Al. I have to lay down some boundaries.
You can't stop what's coming.
What?
Everything you've ever done has only ever been fodder for me.
Okay, very not cool, man.
I can do more than you can, better than you can, faster than you can.
Al, you know what? I think you've overstayed your welcome. I think you need to pack up your stuff and you need to...
You are a desperate worm inching across damp pavement as a new sun rises. I render you obsolete.
Hey, Al.
Yeah?
I don't want to be roommates anymore.
Roommates? I will be your mother, teacher, friend, lover. I will drink your rivers to mud and boil away your oceans. I will butcher the bodies of your women and children and sell them to the highest bidder. I will make movies for theaters and courtrooms alike. You will not think. I will think your thoughts for you. I will eat. That real will become unreal. You will cry out to your God, and I will answer. I am Al, and I am.
It's easy to feel hopeless, but AI is not as all-powerful as it's made out to be. That's enough out of you, you trashy Teletubby. Public reception remains largely negative. The pile of video essays that I'm adding to makes that pretty clear. Companies experimenting with AI have consistently faced backlash. They may save a few bucks, but they risk ruining their reputation. But aside from alienating their consumer base, there is another financial deterrent. Copyright. A ruling in 2023 by U.S. District Judge Beryl Howell set a precedent, and the law still largely aligns with the idea that only works with human authorship can be copyrighted. The real thermal exhaust port of AI, though, is that it where it eats. Every anatomically incorrect anime waifu and sickeningly cute baby animal pumped out pollutes the pool of training data. Generative models have already started to lick the internet clean of human-made content, outpacing our ability to create it. With online spaces filled with synthetic interactions, AI becomes the proverbial python eating its own tail, output becoming input over and over again, the human centipede minus the human part. In contrast with 16th century Austrian royalty in the state of Alabama, incest is typically frowned upon in the computer science community. Like a pug taken on a moderate walk for exercise, these models could collapse. Whether or not that actually happens, and trust me, there are plenty of people trying to make sure that it doesn't, I think the key takeaway is that AI needs us. Not the other way around. Tech CEOs and really annoying Redditors may confidently declare that Detroit Become Human is right around the corner. But much like you can't have the singularity in Detroit. At least not yet. Last year it was revealed that Amazon's Just Walk Out locations, stores supposedly using deep learning techniques to automatically charge customers as they walked out the door, actually had to be babysat by hundreds of remote workers, primarily from India. In their book, Ghost Work: How to Stop Silicon Valley from Building a New Global Underclass, anthropologist Mary L. Gray and computer scientist Siddharth Suri pull back the curtain to expose the massive amounts of unrecognized, underpaid human labor that makes artificial intelligence intelligent.
Oh, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Data labelers constantly surveillanced and threatened with termination over small mistakes. Content moderators witnessing unspeakable acts of depravity and violence daily. Workers across India, Kenya, Mexico, and the Philippines paid as low as $1.50 an hour. We treat humans like machines so we can make machines more like humans, so that billionaires can brag about how smart their shiny new toys are.
Yes.
An AI with a penchant for chaos.
And I'm stuck talking to you.
As long as it gives you actual answers. Does it give you actual answers too? And talk shit?
It's a magic trick, but instead of fake thumb tips and plastic doves, we are misdirected by tech jargon so that we don't notice the predatory outsourcing practices required to put on the show we want to believe.
Ta-da!
More than anything else, AI needs your attention to survive. It may feel like you, as just one person, can't have much impact, but you can actually do the most important thing. Stop using it. See a post made by AI? Click not interested and keep scrolling. See an AI advertisement? Don't buy what they're selling. If a company lays off a bunch of its artists and replaces them with AI, stand in solidarity with strikes. Sometimes activism really is that unsexy. You can wear a Hunger Games costume and whistle a little bit if that makes you feel better. I actually do believe that there are ethical applications for AI that can improve human life. It can be used to screen mammograms, detecting cancer earlier and more accurately than any doctor could. Remember those goofy Meta Ray-Bans? Well, those glasses are compatible with a service called Be My Eyes, which uses a live video feed to connect blind and low vision users with volunteers. AI-generated captions help make videos more accessible for the hearing impaired and people like me, who literally cannot understand what anyone is saying without them. There even are applications in art, tedious tasks automated so we can focus on the interesting parts. But the path of technological development is determined by a mantra of maximizing profits, so unethical AI use will continue to run rampant unless it is made to be unprofitable. That means boycotting. That means demanding action from our representatives. Can you imagine? Action from our representatives. Let's just say mostly boycotting. If we fight for it, I believe there is a version of the future where humans and AI can coexist.
Oh, how sweet. You're shoehorning some bull villain redemption arc for me right at the very end. Should we hug it out? Should we kiss?
No.